I don't know if you notice this behind me or what you can see that is. Have you ever heard of the game Destiny? You better have, because if you haven't, you probably have no pulse. This is pretty exciting.
Yay!
We did it! I can't believe
it worked and I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. So
it's good to meet you.
I know, you too. It's the whole thing's just crazy. I'm like, this is so cool. So what's it like being in Washington?
Wet. It's beautiful. It's probably the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Really?
But yeah, it's because it rains so much that when the sun finally does come out,
right,
everything is like this amazing green, and the trees are huge, and the sun just shines through, and it's just stunning.
After college, how long was it after college that you went out there?
4 years after college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, college was in Georgia. That's a nice poster you got behind you.
I know, isn't that awesome? I was wondering, I was like, okay, I wonder if he's going to even notice the poster there. I kind of snuck it in just to be like, what up, you know?
Surprised you have it.
Yes. I mean, it's so cool. I have to say thank you for that. It's been
cool
awesome. Heck yeah. I'm proud to talk about it. I heard one kid was talking about Destiny, and I was like, and it's cool, you know, to be able to know someone that made their art dream happen. I mean, is it, or has it been your art dream?
I have, yeah.
That, I mean,
I got lucky.
Well, why do you say that?
Like, the industry's so crowded, and there's just so many talented people in this industry.
Right.
And for me to be able to do this for a living, I got very, very lucky.
Well, what led you to where you're at now?
I always told my elementary school teachers that I don't need to do my homework because I'm just going to make video games for a living.
Right.
So that's all I ever cared about. That's why I went to college, and I don't know, just singular focus just made it happen, I suppose. Because I couldn't do anything else. I'm an idiot. I can't, you know, like, deal with... I can't even bounce my own checkbook. Like, I wouldn't be able to, like, have a real job.
Well, that's why men get married. So that... Yes, I've got jokes. When you're playing a game, you don't realize how much goes into it. How you took the animation from what you did with Destiny and even with the new game, and then you put how you did it, so anyone following you could kind of see. It's like,
oh, yeah.
Well, some people feel weird about sharing their knowledge. You know, they're like, oh, I can't share any of my secrets because, you know, it's just competition.
Yeah, I think in the video game industry, people are just, I mean, it's not easy to do what we do. So everyone's always sharing ideas, and you know,
that's how you get better games. The better people are at doing the job,
yes,
the better the games are that you as a consumer can buy.
And that's exactly it. And that.
Yeah, if I could just grow hair now.
So tell me more about what you do.
God, I don't know. I make shit move every day. That's about it.
Well, what made you want to get into gaming? Like, how did that go?
I was just, you know, any boy growing up is a gamer, right? And, you know, playing Mario and Zelda and all that kind of crap. And I was like, wow, someone has to make this shit for a living, and they get paid for that. And they don't have to do math homework.
Right. So math isn't your subject.
Actually, math, I was actually pretty good at math, but I just hated school in general. So I'm just like, I'll just make video games instead. And I stuck with it, and it worked, luckily. You know, that much of a story. I'm terrible at this.
Oh, no, don't be. I mean, I was watching some of the interviews that I saw before. A lot of the terms that are relatable to gamers. But I think a lot of times what people want to know is how they can connect with that person. So it's more like, or how can I do what he does because he made it happen and he seems like a total normal guy. I mean, I don't see anything behind you that like makes you seem too weird or anything. And I mean, I've got a Destiny poster behind me. So yeah, I mean,
I like your approach.
Thanks. That's the way I see it, and it kind of goes with that knowledge sharing thing I was talking about. So it's about, hey, who is this dude? How did this guy get to where he's at? And how did he get so successful at what he's doing? If it was a one game, I'd say, okay, yeah, that's luck. You had success in working on quite a few successful games.
Well, it's about like, so when you see the game, it's like trying to figure out, well, how did they make it? What did they do to make it? And then you start breaking it down from there. Well, there's all these different areas of art that need to be, that they need to hire for. And then there's different types of engineers that they need to hire for. There's a test team, and then there's marketing, and then there's the business end of things. And then you start looking at, doing Google searches and start dissecting all of that information. Like, well, how do these people get these jobs, and what could I be good at? Like,
right.
Where does my talent line up with an open position and all that kind of stuff? And then I just went to art school, and I went with, I was going to get an illustration degree. And I'm just like, well, I know they need concept artwork for video games. I could do that. I can draw.
Right.
So, and then I realized that I'm probably not going to get in doing that because I wasn't as good as a bunch of my other classmates. But no one knew animation. And I'm like, I'll try that. I can figure that out.
Right.
And it turned out I was pretty good at it. So then it's like, well, no one is going for those jobs. There's a ton of jobs for animation. And I'm pretty good at it, so let's just focus on that instead.
Right.
It worked.
But I mean, at least you saw that at your age, that there was that calling thing. At least there was something then, and so you kind of jumped on it before it did fill up fast.
Yeah, college helped me find that though. Like, when you're in that college setting, they're always throwing like, what are your career options at you, and trying to get you to think about stuff like that.
Right.
And if it wasn't for college, I don't think I would have made it.
Well, did you have someone in college that kind of led you down that path, or that mentored you?
I think it was just the atmosphere, and then having the instructors constantly ask you what you want to do, and then teaching you how to research companies and teaching you how to understand all the different aspects of the jobs. And since it was an art college, like all of the instructors had worked in the industry before, so you could ask them questions like, well, how did you get in? What steps did you take? And the common story was always, I got to know what the companies did, how they did it, and then I put myself in one of the positions that they'd need, and I got hired by doing that. And then you just get good at it. You just practice.
Right. That's pretty cool. So what would you say the top schools would be for someone looking to get into gaming? Or
it's difficult now, because back when I was going to school, it was the 90s, right?
Are you kidding me?
Awesome!
Did you see that? That was like...
He's been stalking you. He's been going all around.
I know!
Mothman over there in Virginia.
Oh my god, don't do that. Okay, see, like, I could do the scary movie thing. When I get freaked the hell out is when it says based on true events. And I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing this.
And Mothman, that's supposed to be real, isn't it?
Yeah, the Mothman prophecies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was, I didn't sleep very good, I think, for the week after that. But normally I'm laughing in horror films.
Have you seen It?
Yes. Well, not the new one yet. Not the new one. The one with
okay.
Tim Curry is it.
I figured since you're all into the horror movies and you're making your own horror movie, which, by the way, the trailer was really cool. Just to see the rest of the movie.
That was just kind of like one I threw together, but yeah, it was just fun. Just
the production values were pretty good on that. Like the motion graphics and the way it was all laid out and the camera cuts and everything. It's like you've done your homework on that. That's
yeah.
really
That's why I started putting those little videos up, because that's how I start learning. I'm hands-on. I have to get my hands dug in, you know.
That runs in the Lico family right there.
Oh, okay. See, because I could sit there and stare at a book and I'll just go like that, you know. And I kind of can retain it, but if I do it, it'll stay there forever.
Yeah, I am 100% the same thing. Like if I'm reading a book, I'm like, words.
Yeah.
Words. What did you just read? Look, if I know.
Down to, but I think as humans, we like the hunt.
Yeah, actually,
right.
That's a pretty good observation.
Yeah, so I mean, it's even works the same with everything that we do. Why we like games that kind of go towards that direction, or things that go towards that direction, because we're being challenged, and without a challenge, we can't grow and evolve, I think.
Yeah. So
now you know that because of your games, humans are evolving.
Wow.
You have a part in evolution.
You know, I don't know if the games I've worked on.
I don't know how much you can talk about the game.
Oh, I can talk about it. It's hell. Yeah.
Okay. Was there an inspiration that brought you to create the game?
With the first one or the second one?
We're talking about Moss.
Oh, Moss. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, actually, that game was the idea behind it came from being inside of VR.
Uh-huh.
So when you're in VR, you're like, it feels super immersive, right? And there's a lot of games that have you in the first person, like climbing a rock or shooting aliens or whatever.
Right.
So we really wanted to just like befriend a small creature,
uh-huh.
and mice are small, and we wanted the scale to be very authentic. So like the size of a mouse to be real, the size of a person to be real.
Right.
And you look at a log, the log is the right size, and we just figured that would all kind of fit together, and then we just skinned it from there. So it's like, okay, well, that's a small creature. Let's make it a mouse. And oh, you're gonna be in woods. Let's put you there. That sounds good. That fits, with the mouse theme. And it just all evolved from the fact that it was VR.
Right. It's got so much originality to it, but I had a slight nostalgia for Legends of Zelda when I first saw. Maybe it was Quill cutting through the grass, and it kind of brought me back to that point of being Link, and kind of going, and I heard the music in my head. Am I far off on that, or what?
No, you're very close, actually. That was a huge influence on all of us who worked on the game.
Okay, it's totally got that feel, and I think a lot of people that are in our generation and even younger, because I know we both have teenagers.
Yep.
Now, when I was a teenager, I remember you try to relate to your parents probably through music. Now, my son's all into like the 80s and 90s movies. He's like, oh yeah, I love old movies. And I'm like, oh yeah, what old movies do you like? He's like Back to the Future. I'm like, oh yeah, that's an old movie. I'm like, really? That's an old movie? Like I cannot deal with the fact of hearing that stuff's old.
Yeah, and Zelda's old too. So
I know. I'm like, what the heck? But either way, it's that whole part that it really made you feel good to play it. I know you know what I'm saying. Even some of them before that, earlier, just gave you almost like that feeling of Christmas morning to me. That's how I felt when I saw the clips of Moss and Quill.
That's awesome. That's like a huge compliment. Thank you. Yeah, that's because all right. So one of the first animations I ever did for the mouse for Quill was the death animation from Zelda, where it spin around and then just boop. And it's still in the game. It's still the only death one of the main deaths that play in the game. It's the one animation they did from like way back that we kept.
Wow. How did PolyArc get started, or what is PolyArc? Where did the name come from?
Well, it sounds like Pixar or any of those types of studios, and I think that's what they were going for with It was the three buddies of mine, Tam, Danny, and Chris. They left Bungie a year or so before me, and they wanted to, like, whenever new technology like VR or the smartphone, or whenever there's a new console that comes out, it's like a reset for the industry.
Yeah.
So it allows smaller companies to get in while the market's really small, and then those small companies can grow with the market.
Right.
So they left Bungie knowing VR was coming, and they wanted to make VR games and get in. So Polyarc was just a name that they thought worked, and they created all of that before I was involved. And,
gotcha.
By the time I was ready to leave Bungie, they were money, and they were literally working out of somebody's closet. But I went and hung out with them in that closet, and we all just made video games together without getting any paycheck whatsoever, and it was like that for months.
You guys wore deodorant at least, though, right?
If we could afford it.
Well, yeah. You maybe shared the same stick.
We actually, since we were in like essentially a storage closet for another business, we didn't have our own bathrooms, so we actually had to use their bathrooms. And then we had to go into their office to use a kitchen because we didn't have a sink or anything like that. So
but that's so cool. After having the success that you did with the games prior to, that you not necessarily went backwards, but you kind of went slightly backwards to take a big leap forward. Would you say that?
Yeah. It was risky and certainly not glamorous. Like, Bungie has a climbing wall and a fireplace in the kitchen, and they have all these benefits and perks, and I was making good money there, and going from that to we don't have a sink and you don't have a paycheck anymore was it was a bit of going back, I guess, but it was all for a good reason.
Are you allowed to discuss why you left Bungie, or was it more for personal growth for your career?
I wanted to do this. No, it was my buddies that went to make this game.
Right.
I wanted to make this game with them, and it's more important to me to have the creative outlet and to constantly be improving. And I figured, well, if we make something good, then we'll make money, and that will be good too. And I knew that if this didn't work, I've got the resume in place, and I've worked on so many big titles that I could probably get another job or even go back to Bungie if I needed to. But that this opportunity was a once in a lifetime, and I just didn't want to miss out on it.
That's awesome, especially to take the risk for friends, not even yourself. It's not like you're saying, oh yeah, I started my own thing, I started this from the ground up. You're saying that no, these are people that I worked with and I believed in them enough to go in this closet with them, and that says not only a lot about you, but how you operate and the type of friendships you've built.
It's a good team. It's if I had a few opportunities with some other friends that have left Bungie to go start their own thing.
Right.
And even though they're nice guys, I wasn't ready to join them. But this team, these guys, this was the team I knew was probably going to do well. So I didn't want to miss out on it.
I was looking at the people that are on the team for Polyarc, and I have to say, who did the website?
It was mostly Danny.
Okay. Danny?
And Shauna. Danny and Shauna, yeah.
Okay. Well, you need to get one of them girls up at the top, because women need to be like, what? So they worked on Destiny with you?
Okay.
Yeah,
it was a lot of us were the character team, so we were the ones that put the original player characters and some of the enemies together, and so we got the modelers from the characters, and then I did most of the animation for the player, and then we've got Tam, who's our CEO, was the animation engineering lead, so I worked with him directly on making the content work in game, and Danny was the guy doing the design for all the gameplay for the player. So essentially, Like from Destiny 1, that's
Right.
the team that put together all the player character and some of the enemies that made it all work and feel good in game.
Wow.
So we all stuck together and went someplace else.
So I'm just curious, is being in your industry anything at all like watching the movie Grandma's Boy?
Absolutely nothing like it at all.
Darn it. Well, I'm not.
Such bullshit.
I know.
They had testers designing the game, and the testers were making the call. No, when you're testing, what you're told to do is, I need you to run to the back of this room, and I need you to spin 360. Count how many times you spin while jumping. And
Right.
you're going to do that for 3 hours to see if you can fall through the world, and that's what a tester actually does.
Oh my gosh.
It's a hard job. They don't get to make design. They certainly don't do it from a couch.
Right. The part where he's like, oh, I am a robot. I've got a robot vagina. Does
So I'm
he?
not going to say his name. I have worked with a guy like that. The gaming industry does have some colorful people, some very interesting folks I've met over the years.
Artists alone are their own breed of people.
Oh, and animators are even worse. You know, what we have to do is, when we're making animations, like 3 seconds of animation footage is like a day of work.
Wow.
Right? So what you're doing, especially if you're timing it to audio, you're playing that audio over that 3-second audio clip over and over and over again for 8+ hours, trying to get like that little chunk of time just
Wow.
right. And by the end of the day, your head's like pivoting like around 360. Like, if that doesn't drive you nuts, like that's why all animators are absolutely batshit insane.
Nice. So your wife's batshit insane too, though, right? She's got to
Well,
be.
she's not an animator.
Well, no. Okay, so she's the one that levels you out.
Yeah, she's the normal one out of the group here.
Gotcha. Okay. Here's my crazy flag.
Be a little crazy.
It is. You
It's
gotta.
interesting.
Yes, you gotta have the crazy eye thing. You know.
And coming from this family, you're bound to be a little crazy.
Well, I figured. I feel it in my blood. You know.
Well, you're married to a merman, so
Merman haberdasher. Let's get it straight. You know?
my bad.
I mean, it takes a lot of work to get the title of haberdasher now.
You know, I actually used that word at work last week on Thursday.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Since then, I'm like, okay, it's a word I'm going to make sure I add to my vocabulary at least more often than I was, because I used it nil. So now I use haberdasher or haberdashery at least once a year.
You met your quota tonight.
It is fun, especially when people kind of look at you and they're too afraid to say, what's a haberdasher or what's a haberdashery?
What? People really ask you that?
I ask. Yes.
I thought everyone knew what that word was.
Everyone should know what it is. I mean,
That's your life goal now. You're going to get the word out.
it is. I will not stop until I get it done.
If you hate it.
Right.
I worked retail. I was never good at working retail. Yep, being on that side of the counter, I feel so bad for them. And to this day, when I go work, when I go to a retail shop,
Right.
like, fast food or to like a camera shop where I used to work, something like that, I am super nice to everyone behind that counter because I know what they're putting up with on a daily basis. And it sucks.
Yes, it does. So how in the world do you put the kids to bed, a marriage, work how you do? How do you...
Like everyone else. I mean, you go to work, you clock out when you're done, you come home, you spend some time with your family, and then after they go to bed, maybe do a little bit more work.
Well, yeah, that is a lot like everyone else. That's true.
That's
Yes. Well, the difference is, though, you enjoy at least what you do. It seems like it.
I look forward to it.
Well, that's, I think, the difference for a lot of other people. If you go to work and you love what you do and you're looking forward to starting on that next project or, getting back to where you left off, that says a lot more. Would you say that would be one of the key things to being successful as well? Or
Yeah, because it makes it easy. Like if you enjoy what you're doing, you're going to be very good at it because do it a lot, right? And then you're just going to be all into it, and it all snowballs, right? So like you can't be really, really amazing at your job if you hate it.
right. There's so much content that gets put out there, and I want to be part of that content, but I want to make sure that what I have to say is valuable. Whether it's all about making you laugh, making you feel a variety of emotions, but I want it to be real. And that's what my content is about something that's relatable. Stay tuned as I keep growing and you become part of my growth, and we do it together. So I look forward to seeing you in the future. Bye-bye.